in autonomous vehicle who all are working in this domain, who is making the technologies which are useful for autonomous vehicles. So we'll have a detailed look over that as well, and try to get some exciting updates about that, what currently we are at and what future will bring to us. And then lastly, we will have a review of what we learned, and then some discussion if you guys are willing to do that. Okay. So the first thing first, so SAE or SAE India is also there. So to start the communication, may I know, has any one of you have any idea what SAE, full form of SAE is?
Society of Automotive Engineers.
Yeah, amazing. So that's a great answer. So it's Society of Automotive Engineers. So it's basically a America-based organization which was founded early 90s by the automotive manufacturers, their leaders. So what exactly SAE India does is it is a global level society, and they make standards for engineering, basically the automotive domain. Okay, so what domains they work in? So basically the global transportation industry, such as aerospace, passenger automotives, and commercial vehicles. So whatever we see around us, like SAE, what they do is there is an aerospace industry. So to make the standards for those aerospace vehicles, aeroplanes and jets and whatever is there. So they make certain guidelines and standards for their functioning and components, all these things. And then in automotives as well and commercial vehicles as well. So they build standards. So what kind of standards they exactly build is let me just show you one thing. So this is a oil can, okay, and there is one rating written here, 10W40. So this is nothing but a SAE rating of a particular oil. So what happens is they have defined certain ratings of oils as well. So what repair and to develop, so those tools they also got standards for, and there are like certain lubrications they have set standards for. So these kind of things SAE India does. So they basically make standards for the things. Okay, so their steel grades they have defined, then oil grades as I mentioned here. Then there is one thing they also did is a great thing, which is they have defined the levels of autonomy. So what different levels of autonomous vehicles could be there. So they have also defined that, and that thing we will be looking in detail over here. Okay. So I think everyone now knows what SAE India is. So basically, if there are automobile mechanical, or anyone who is willing to go into the automotive industry, they should know what SAE India is, what the work is, and what kind of standards they have built. So I hope this give you introduction about that. Then now coming to the next part of this today's session, what exactly is autonomous vehicle? Okay. So how do you guys define autonomous vehicle? What in your imagination or in your words, what could be the thing when you say autonomous vehicle? So don't say that Tarzan Defender car is the autonomous vehicle.
Driverless car.
Okay, yeah, driverless car could be one thing. Exactly. That's the extreme of autonomous vehicle, basically the completely driverless car. Okay, so we'll see what is the definition of autonomous vehicle. So vehicle which is capable of sensing its surroundings or environment, and it moves its passenger very safely without any harm, with little or almost no human input. So the word little and no human input is very much important when it comes to the defining of levels of autonomy. So that's the thing. So what exactly it does is, firstly, it senses the surrounding. So when we walk, like if we consider ourselves as a car, we are a self-driving car. So what we do, we observe our surrounding, we sense what exactly is there, and we look what obstacles are there. So the same thing the vehicle tries to do. And what we do, we move safely. We don't want to get harmed by anything around us. So we try to move safely. So this is the same thing that a vehicle tries to do. And but as it's not human, so there could be a little human effort required, or in some cases there could be no human efforts. So this is how we can define the autonomous vehicles. Okay. So moving ahead, now we will see how exactly, or like what are the key components of it, how it works basically, how it functions. So as we defined what in definition, we saw three stages: the sensing, okay, then moving, and some human or non-human efforts. So we'll see on the basis of that how what could be the key components of an autonomous vehicle. So with the help of diagram, you can see the first thing is a sensing. It has to sense its surrounding, whatever is around there, whatever is coming, what speed it is coming with, and how much time it would take to stop the vehicle at that point, where it has to take turns, where are the sharp turns, all those things. And it also has to be connected with some kind of predefined data or pre-collected data. It has to be fed with that information. And on the basis of that, it controls the parts of the vehicle or the components of vehicle specifically. So let's see, the first thing is sensing. So sensing is done with the help of various sensing devices like radar, then lidar sensors are there, cameras are there for image capturing, then GPS has to be fed in so that vehicle knows where exactly it has to go and what path it has to follow. So those things will help vehicle to decide where exactly it has to go. And after that, there is a GPS. GPS done, then odometry. So to what speed it is running at. So those things, and inertia measuring instruments. So basically the sensors which calculates the speed and the acceleration of vehicle. So these are used to sense the surrounding so that vehicle can know its path, where exactly it has to go. Then second thing comes the processing. So with the data which it has gained from the sensor, it has to be processed somewhere, or some kind of processors, microcontrollers, those will be there so that it can take decision on the basis of that. And lastly, the sensing data and the processing commands which are there, they are given to the actuators. So there comes the actuating part of it. So what actuators are there? So it could control the throttle, basically what's accelerating the vehicle, deaccelerating the vehicle, then brakings, then there could be sudden stopping, slowing down the vehicle, and steering where it has to turn. So all these actions come into under the actuating part. So we saw three basic things of like key components of autonomous vehicle: sensing, processing, and the actuating. So that's how it exactly goes. So this is like a very, very deep technical topic when we go to study this thing. So after that, we'll move ahead with what are the different levels of autonomous driving which are defined by SAE. So now you guys know what SAE India is. They define the or they set the standards in automotive, aerospace, vehicles, and associated industries. So they have also, as we talked, they have also defined certain levels of autonomous vehicles or autonomous driving. So does anyone have idea how many levels SAE India has defined for autonomous driving?
5, I guess.
Five. So
I think 5.
1 to 5 you are talking about.
6 levels.
6 levels. Yeah. So
0 to 5.
it's not 5, it's 6. So basically indexing, it starts from 0. So from 0, if you count till 5, it becomes 6 levels. So yeah, I really appreciate Ubaidullah. Yeah. So you know, like from 0 to 5, it counts as 6. So there are 6 levels of autonomous driving that SAE India has defined, and we'll see how those 6 levels exactly work. Okay. So the first comes 0. So what happens in 0 level of automation? There is no automation, 0. Each and every control has to be done by driver itself. Car won't do anything by itself. It's completely up to the driver. So that is a zero level automation. Okay, so vehicle can't take this vehicle don't take any kind of inputs from surrounding. It does not make any kind of decision, or it does not control any of the parameter of driving. So that's the zero level automation, which is in the mostly present in India cars or the earlier cars. So whatever vehicles that we have been using in past are completely running on the zero level automation. So that's the thing. And then now we shift from zero to one. So what happens in first level of autonomy? There could be one feature which helps the driver to which assists the driver in driving or riding the vehicle. So what could be those features? Basically, is uh, the lane assist sensor or rear parking sensor, which gives indication of there is some obstacle. So those kind of things come under the level 1 driving assistance. Then after that we come across the second, which is a partially automate. So what happens in second level of autonomous driving? Vehicle can perform certain tasks by itself with some driver input. So which is basically called as autonomous driving assistance systems, where turning the vehicle and keeping it centered in a lane, or lane changing the lane. So those kind of things are in a level 2 automation. So but what happens in here, human has to constantly monitor the vehicle and its action, because without human it cannot take decisions, and human constantly has to be there. So these are the three levels which required the human monitor completely. Okay, we cannot say level 0 to 2 we cannot have a driverless cars basically. Okay, and so these are the 0, 1, 2, 3 are the levels which most of now the new coming vehicles are having, and these are becoming very much popular till yet. The interesting thing comes from the third level of autonomous driving. So in third level, it becomes the conditional. So what happens? Vehicle can perform most of the driving task by itself, but human hand has to be there. Vehicle cannot run by itself or completely control it. Okay, so just a little human effort is required. So let's say if a vehicle is you are riding a vehicle on a highway, and there comes the sudden braking situation, some kind of that thing. So vehicle, it will not be able to detect that very quickly. So human has to be there, but most of the task it will control by itself. And there comes the highly automation, and it's very interesting that at fourth level of automation, vehicle can drive completely by itself. You don't even need to touch your steering. But why it is at level 4 and not level 5? Because uh, in certain conditions there could come across the situations where human has to take control of the vehicle, some area whose GPS or the exact data is not found in the vehicle. So at those kind of places, human has to take steering in the hand and he has to take control. But when it comes to preloaded data, like in certain cities or some metropolitan area, the vehicle is equipped with that data, so it can completely run in that region with that defined information. So that's how the level 4 automation works. And lastly, the level 5, which is the extreme of autonomous driving, where there is no human. It vehicle completely runs by its own. Okay, so whether there is someone sitting there or not, and wherever you leave that vehicle, it will go around and it will follow its path as defined or as commanded. So that's how we see the level 5 automation. So I hope all the 6 levels of automation now you got idea about. Okay, yeah. So what do you guys think? Which level of autonomous driving we have achieved till yet, and where exactly, what all which level of autonomous driving is going to be the in India? Which level of automation we are having currently? What are your
Level 1 automation is used in XUV 700
I
by
think
Mahindra.
to adapt
adaptive
developing
cruise
this
Uh,
control?
control.
ADAS technology.
Yeah, adaptive cruise control basically. So when you set your vehicle at certain cruise control, when there is a vehicle in front of that, and you set the vehicle to be cruising at 60 kilometers per hour, let's say, but there comes a vehicle which is deaccelerating in front of you. So your vehicle also automatically deaccelerates itself. So that's how we see the like level one autonomous driving in XUV 700. Yes.
I think for India,
Uh, uh,
level 2 is good enough to begin with because of
Mhm.
again the cost also goes up based
Exactly, exactly. So when as you increase the level of like autonomy, the cost of the lidar, radar sensors it increases, and the processing of it, and then the control of each and every like brake, throttle, steering, headlamps, and all the like which are components which assist a driver in driving. Driver takes the control of it, has to get completely automated, so the cost of that goes on increasing, and it becomes very much costly when it goes to the upper level of autonomy.
government and deciding authorities also have not reached up to the
Hmm.
level 2 also is good enough if you compare ARIA, OE manufacturer because the cost is one up and also setting up of radars and other things needs a heavy investment.
Exactly, exactly. So like there have been some companies in India who is like who have reached till fourth level of autonomous driving, but they are not allowed to put those vehicles on road. So what they are doing, they are like utilizing it in some sort of warehouses, like a huge area of warehouses where they can like they won't need any kind of human effort to pick those parcels and deliver it to some other portion of that warehouse. So those kind of things are being done in India till yet. So yeah, moving ahead, guys, will
So, sir,
yeah.
so how could we achieve full automation in rural area if we don't have a proper GPS system fitted in it? And how could we achieve
So
full
like it
automation?
has to be completely connected, man. Like you have to have a lot of satellites and which are completely monitoring the motion of vehicle, and it has like eyes on all over the road conditions which are there. So level 5 automation in like in non like the places which are like apart from cities where there is different climatic conditions, so these are very difficult and challenging things which we have to come up with solutions for. Okay, so level 5 autonomy is way ahead as of now. So yeah, that's the thing. So
so like lane assist system is work on a lane marking on road, but we don't have lane marking on road properly.
yeah, so that's
So
the
it's a
challenge.
bad luck for us.
That's the challenge in it. That what happens if some manufacturer has developed any sort of autonomous vehicle, but the rules which are being followed in different region of the world, so they are different. The lane markings in various countries are different.
Ganesh Reddy, are you there, Ganesh Reddy?
Sorry, don't make such disturbance in the session. Okay, yeah. So those are the challenges in making the autonomous vehicles, definitely. So like whenever there comes a new technology, it brings new challenges to engineers, and that's what we are here to solve, right? Yeah, so that's the thing. So guys, moving ahead, what is the current status of autonomous vehicle market? So this is what we have been talking about technology, but any players in market you guys know who have been working in this domain, or like they have achieved certain level of a good level of autonomy here? Can you name some of them?
Tesla autopilot mode.
That's the first thing that students would say. Yeah, definitely. Tesla has achieved level 3 autonomous driving, and like it's not far. They would go to level 5. That's actually level 4 they have
Sir, it
achieved.
is Wemo level 4, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
level
In
4.
India, I think Mahendras are putting efforts to bring new technology, if I am right.
Yeah, they are putting like in their recent new upcoming vehicles, there could be a more level of autonomy we can see. Like
Maybe Toyota Kirloskar, some special cars.
hmm, okay. Yeah, so let's see at a global level who all are in this race, and what position they are at. Okay, so
I think, sir, Google is also trying to make an autonomous vehicle, and it is quite very good successful. It also travel 60 or 600 kilometers journey without any human effort.
without any exactly, and you might have also heard about Apple promising autonomous vehicle by 2024.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
So that's the thing that like companies they keep promising, but like Tesla, Elon Musk also promised that there will be completely driverless car by 2021, but due to some circumstances which they are not like they couldn't achieve that part. But yeah, there are no not far to achieve the level of 5 autonomy. So yeah, we'll see who all are players in this market. I see you guys are very excited to know that. So the first thing we will talk about some not very big players, some small players which are there. So there is Comma AI. Okay. So Comma AI is like they are not manufacturers of vehicle, but they are into the uh, providing the components of and making the technology for autonomous vehicles. So you guys know who this person is? I will give some idea about him. Okay, so he basically is a founder of Comma AI, and he is the first person who hacked iPhone and also the PS3. So that person is like a king of hacking world, we can say. So he's George Hortz. He founded his own company, which is Comma AI, and what he did firstly is he took his Honda. He had Honda Acura, so you can see on the steering. I don't know whether it's visible or not. So he had his Honda Acura, and he transformed that vehicle into an autonomous vehicle at like certain level of autonomy, which could assist him, and he won't have to touch the steering in certain conditions. So like he came into this race unconventionally. He did something of his own, and that's how he started his own company. So moving ahead, there is another player in this market is Neuro Motors. So what they are doing is they are making the completely such a like beautiful driverless cars, but they are not for passenger transportation purpose. It's for delivery purpose basically. So short distance delivery they are working at. So because they have not reached yet till that they can ensure the safety of human passengers, so that's why they have started it with just delivery of the goods, so that if there is a pizza delivery, grocery, such kind of thing, you can deliver by putting the commands in that vehicle and giving it order to place it from one place to another place. And another limitation of this vehicle is it runs at a very low speed, around 25 miles per hour, which comes around 40 kilometer per hour speed, which it cannot go beyond that. So these are the two, like we can say, upcoming players in the race. Now we will talk about some giants in this race. So there is one company which is way ahead in technology, and they have like which is called a Waymo, and Waymo they have built completely driverless vehicles still yet. Okay, and what advantage they have is they are owned by Google. So basically, as someone was saying, there is a Google was planning. So Waymo is under the sub like parent company of Google, which is Alphabet, right? So Waymo is under that, and they have highest number of miles driven. So more number of miles you deliver, more number of data you get. And another factor to get more data is to get the more number of vehicles on road. So more number of vehicles and more miles they have run, so you can collect a lot and lot of data which can be fed into the vehicle, and it can take a firm decision and like a correct decision that human brain takes basically, and something more than that at certain upper level. So that's the thing. And what technologies they use is camera, radar, lidar, and microphones as well. So may I know what reason could be to use microphones there?
Hear the sound of surroundings, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah, surrounding sound, but how it's gonna help vehicle to decide some or take some decisions?
Maybe some spot cannot cover by the sensor. So
If there is any ambulance passing by, it can give it way.
Yeah, Prem, amazing. Yeah, so that's the thing. If there is some vehicle or some emergency vehicle going by or ambulance passing by, so as it has the sound of the siren, it will give the way to that. So that's the reason using microphone as well. And they have reached till level 4 autonomy where like human has to be there because it cannot be run in other conditions when it comes to some places where GPS is not trackable. So at that places, human has to be there. But in cities, for data they have collected, it can drive completely driverless. So that's the thing they have achieved, and they are very much ahead in the making of autonomous vehicle technology. Then comes the GM Cruise. So General Motors is also working very rapidly, and what they have achieved is they have launched presented their one vehicle which is like completely driverless. They can be putting it as a robot taxi. So you just have to like uh, as we call Ola, Uber, taxis. So we just there won't be a driver, just a robot taxi will come and pick you in and drop you to your destination. So that's how interesting it's gonna be with GM Cruise. So they have been entering in this market, and after that we'll see who all are there. Okay, so there is an agro AI. So agro AI is basically backed by the Ford Motors. So they Ford Motors own this vehicle, and they are also like they have also they like put lot number of vehicles on the road in San Francisco and other cities of America, where they have been collecting a lot of data and the behavior of other manually driven vehicles, so that they can update their systems. Okay, and after that comes the very interesting is Tesla. So there are certain advantages with Tesla when it comes to autonomous driving, because they have most mass produced cars with which are lugged with sensors and which are equipped with level 3 level 4 autonomous vehicles, which pushes them to get reach level 5. Like it increases the chance of making them a level 5 autonomous vehicle, completely driverless. So I suppose, what do you guys think? Who will be like in some future? Who will be winning this race, or who will come up with completely driverless cars and most popular brand of autonomous vehicles? So Tesla has already named itself in a top most EV manufacturers. So what do you think? Will they be able to keep the promise of making the completely or level 5 autonomous vehicles in future?
I think Tesla will do that. More advanced than others.
Yeah, Shiv Prasad, yeah. So
Tesla will win because Tesla is spending the highest amount of money in R&D compared to Ford or any other companies.
exactly. So like the what it depends on, there are certain factors on which the making the autonomous vehicle and like winning this race depends on. So the first thing, as we talked, is how many number of uh, kilometers or like distance you have tested your systems with, and how many vehicles you are running at, and what are different regions you are testing those vehicles. So if some company they just keep testing in one particular region, it won't make them a good player in this domain. They won't have a variety of data. They have to test their vehicles in different region of world with different climatic conditions, different human behaviors, and different manual driving situations. So these are the factors that this which the progress depends of the autonomous vehicle industry. Okay, and lastly, there is one more company that I would like to talk about, which is I don't know whether you guys have heard of. It is Zooks. Very odd name, but yeah, and they have like built a very beautiful robot taxi basically, and they have like they didn't start from any from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 level of autonomy. They are directly jumping to level 5 or making in level 5 autonomous vehicles. So well, and this company, we can say, like making such a taking such a big step requires some big player at your back. So what do you think? Which company they have been associated? So like previously, what we talked about, uh, uh, Argo AI was backed by the Ford Motors. Then there is what Waymo. It was owned by the Google's parent company Alphabet. So there has to be some big player backing Zooks. So what do you think? Which
Is it
companies?
a Japanese company?
No, it's not Japanese company.
Amazon maybe sir.
Yeah, correct, Abdullah. So I thought someone would say Apple or Microsoft, but yeah, they are backed by like it is now.
Amazon.
Yeah, now they are owned by Amazon. So like what Amazon they might be using it for their fleet purpose, parceling delivery and all such stuff. There could be a robot taxis, as we discussed. Like nowadays, we use Ola Uber app to call the driver, and sometimes they deny such things happen. But when we will be having robot taxis, so they won't deny. I guess they will directly come on our demand and pick us and drop at our destination. And like before making it available to metropolitan cities and like some rural areas anywhere, where you guys think could be the testing should be done, or some like uh, basic test could be conducted, which all such places? Can you guys discuss on that? May I have your inputs on that?
Highways don't require the technology.
Definitely, we can't take chances at highways. So let's say I'm putting a one situation, okay? So let's say you are making your like let's say you have made your completely driverless vehicle, level 5 autonomy you have reached, and so what do you think? Where you will put those vehicles to test, and where are facilities you will put those vehicles and get it tried and tested?
In ARAI.
No, like no, I'm not talking
There
about.
is only a laboratory.
Not
They
like
don't
lab
require.
test. I'm not talking about that. They are our research organization definitely, but they do component level analysis, like system level as well. But you cannot collect data or know in the just ARA facility, right?
So I think the mega cities would be the perfect, like so the Mumbai, Bangalore, and then
No,
the
I'm talking about before putting it into the cities. In cities, if there are some bugs in the software, or some like it's not functioning properly, so there might happen chances of accidents. So before putting it into the city, where which places like you could try these vehicles. So definitely wherever you try,
My company's own testing zone.
companies testing zone. Yeah, so like as I mentioned in the beginning, in the manufacturers India, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of that company, but they have built fourth level of autonomous driving vehicle, and they are not
Is
allowed
it
to put.
in indoor?
Sorry,
Is it in indoor?
indoor.
Where
Yeah,
they have put
you
that?
have to test it somewhere in the indoor, in the company's facility itself, or yeah. So firstly, it will be tested in the
At
manufacturers.
airports.
Yeah, exactly. So to parcel the luggage and where there is a less crowd somewhere, so those kind of places you can test on. Then some like there are huge college campuses are there, or like Google kind of campus is there. If some
We can also use racing tracks also.
yeah, racing tracks also could be used, but using racing tracks for racing purpose would be a good thing, actually, I guess. But yeah, surely we can taste them. But if we have to taste those vehicles like for a performance reason and all such things, we can do that. Okay. Yeah. So I see you guys were pretty interactive during the session, and you took a part here to communicate about that. And I hope you got to learn about what are the like current situation in market and what are the different levels of autonomy we have achieved yet. Okay, so it's time to review today's session, what we have learned. So firstly, we talked about what SAE India is, like they are into making the standards, and they have defined the levels of autonomy. So, and different components of autonomous vehicle, how does it function, what like it senses firstly, then those data it gets to the processor, and based on that there some commands get generated, and those commands are transferred to the actuators, which are nothing but the throttle control, brake control, steer control, etc., etc. And then we talked about 0 to 5 level of autonomous driving, how they are different, and which level we at which level there is no autonomy, and at which level there is completely autonomous driving. So that thing we thought about, talked about. And we also saw some manufacturers and the players in the race of making the completely driverless vehicles and making it available for humanless driving, basically. So, and we also discussed a lot thing about where exactly we can test these vehicles. Okay, so if you have any kind of another points of discussion, we can take that.
Yes, sir.
But all these comforts are making
Hmm?
human brain inactive. I don't know where do we land into this type of thing.
Yeah, sure. Like we are like
Because doctor,
we have
doctor,
already become a lazy, and now we are trying to not get ourselves into the driving.
we are becoming more and more, I don't know what word we have to say. But is it really required such things? I don't know. Are we in the human race, technology race, or comfort race, safety race? What is exactly companies like in America, others where they have money? All these autonomous cars are again. I am of the opinion maybe for delivering materials and all it's good, but not for any human things. Okay, this is my personal
Okay, yeah,
opinion.
definitely. There could be multiple opinions from different mindset could be there about some technology. So like whenever new technology comes, that like it comes with certain advantages as well as disadvantages, and some people try to adopt it. Some people are not in a favor of adoption that technology. So it's not just autonomous vehicle. Multiple technologies like if we are talking about electric vehicles, some people are still conscious about taking the electric vehicle. They think that making the
Only such vehicles are becoming more in America. That's
yeah,
not in,
definitely. Whatever
not
brands I
in
just
Europe,
mentioned,
not in Europe or Asia or Japan, because they
exactly.
have money. They want to do some technology.
Hmm.
Go for people who can afford to. That's not, but
Hmm.
I appreciate their efforts as far as the technology is concerned.
Hmm.
That technology should not limit. For example, you take today's war between Russia and Ukraine.
Okay.
What type of things? Somewhere they
Yeah,
should
yeah,
also have a limitation for such things. I don't know.
definitely.
In Indian roads, particularly with the amount of human things,
Rush and the traffic on the road.
yes,
Exactly.
and maintenance, road traffic,
Road
and
maintenance, basically the road
road.
conditions.
Somebody rightly said there is no marks of the roads dividers. Yes,
Exactly.
these are all
Yeah. So like when it comes to adopting technology in different regions, there could be like regional challenges as well.
that's
Some.
why Indian government is not,
Mhm,
at least I have not seen
mhm,
any encouragement for such type of things.
mhm,
Electric vehicles, I do agree but particularly from the environment point of, and also a
Yes.
lot of things are happening about global warming, climate change. Electric vehicles is definitely one
Dealing with
thing
that.
which will definitely
Mhm.
give some
Yeah.
advantages. Okay,
Definitely,
please
yes.
continue.
So
Other
we could use these vehicles when, like, in future, if there comes more literate people and they won't like the doing the job of delivering the parcel and all such things. So people, there could be some time in future where people will refuse to do such jobs, and we have to assign this task to some technology, which robots or robot taxis or autonomous vehicles. So for that thing in future, we can say this is the base or the planning human are making. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this session. So as I mentioned, you we in the end there is a surprise for you guys. So as you know, this was the completely sponsored by Elite Techno Groups. So what surprise for you guys is there? If you visit Elite Techno Groups website, we are into making the engineering students ready for industry. And when you go to our website, I will just put the link in chat box so you can also go and see it along with me. Okay, so when you go to the internship and courses, you can see various domains of engineering we are providing courses in. Okay, so when you come to vehicle dynamics, electric vehicle, there are specialization program in electric vehicle. Then as we were talking about autonomous vehicle, so it completely depends on image processing and collecting data and managing it. So using programming languages and all such stuff. So if you are more eager to learn about this autonomous vehicle technology and you want to be contributing in making of autonomous vehicles, so definitely you could go and take this program, which is like made by people in the industry from the industry point of view, so that there are no college or academic touch here. You will be learning from people in industry. So that's the thing. And for as of now, we will talk about a little about electric vehicle specialization program. Okay. So as you guys know, electric vehicle is the future of automotive industry. Autonomous vehicles are going to be there, but as of now in India, we are seeing the boom in electric vehicle engineering. So, what you guys, if you have very much eager to learn and want to be in an electric vehicle industry, working professionally in that domain, so you have to acquire a lot of information there. So, this is what we are providing. It's a complete specialization program in electric vehicle, which is around 1 year long program. You will learn from very fundamentals of electric vehicle concept to the each and every components level. So like there is a battery design, motor design, power electronics, communication protocols, safety concepts. So there are a lot many things to learn, and these things you will be working on various projects in by when you complete one module, there will be major minor projects. There would be a live doubt sessions. Experts will be there to solve your doubts. So all this kind of thing you will be having, you will get advantage of when you enroll in these programs. So what I am doing, I am putting in the promo code here so that if you go, you will have some discount on these courses, and you can enroll yourself there. Okay. And also there is a feedback link as you have attended this session. So uh, we will be providing you a certificate for attending this session. And once you fill out this form, you will be provided with the certificate.
you will be provided. You send that feedback in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I just dropped it into the chat box.
Sometimes chat box doesn't open, I think.
I have a question regarding the internship. Can I ask?
Yeah, Shruti, please.
Yeah, so is it a paid internship or like how the thing is
Which internship you
involved
are talking about?
in EV or autonomous vehicle?
Yeah, so like these internship programs are like definitely there are 1 month, 2 month internship programs, and you have to pay for that.
Okay, so what is the cost for it?
So you can visit the website. I have shared the link.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
And if you apply this promo code of what today's, as you attended today's session specially, so there is a code for you which is auto 25. If you apply that, you will get certain discount on that as well.
Could you share in your chat, like if possible, the promo code?
Yeah, I already put it in the chat box.
Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, does anyone have any point of discussion or something we could discuss it, or if there are no doubts or discussion, we can conclude today's session.